Welcome to another episode of JAKPA Stories, the podcast where each story inspires another. Today on the podcast, we have a very exciting guest. I'm not going to introduce him. I'll let him introduce himself.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here on the JAKPA podcast. First, my name is Neji Tawo. I like to call myself a tech entrepreneur and a builder, also a connector within the community. And it's nice to be here.
Amazing. We're so glad to have you, Neji.
Yeah.
I've personally looked forward to this particular episode of the podcast
Yeah.
because I know our viewers are going to learn a whole lot from the amazing work that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Kick things off. When you hear the word JAKPA, what does that mean to you?
Well, the word JAKPA means a lot of things. I will start by giving a little perspective about how I came to Canada.
Okay.
And some people came to Canada and some people jackpot to Canada. So I was one of those who jackpot.
Okay.
Actually. So jackpot, from that perspective, of course, we know back in Nigeria meant, I don't jackpot, like I've left, I've escaped, I'm out of here. That's kind of the energy. And it's a word that carries a certain kind of energy around more like an exodus,
Right.
from the old to the new or the better. So that's
Amazing.
kind of what it means.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better. I think to almost everybody I've spoken with, JAKPA means something slightly different, but I like that version. And in the context of the podcast, what we try to focus on is your journey, right? The journey between when you left, when you got here, how it's going, and future prospects.
Mm-hmm.
Because we think throughout that journey, people are going to learn a whole lot from each step of your journey.
Mm-hmm.
So what's one thing you still miss the most from home?
I would say that I miss the camaraderie. Like it was back home, it's easier to just get out, get on the street, see your friend. Hey, what's up? How far? We come, you're in their houses already.
Yeah.
There was more of a natural, how do I put it, communication, friendship, and relationships that we built back home. I think that's kind of what I would say I miss the most. And of course, the food. Well, these days we're beginning to get about some of the foods that we have back home there.
Yeah.
You kind of like miss that. Well, yeah.
And just for the viewers, when we talk about home, where we're referring to?
I am referring to Nigeria, Calabar, and Lagos in Nigeria. That was home for me. I shuttled between both cities. I grew up in Calabar, but worked in Lagos, so I was kind of back and forth. But where I would say I missed the most was Calabar, especially the Calabar Carnival. And shout out to anyone else who's from there, but pretty much that's what I refer to.
Yeah. I've personally experienced the Calabar Carnival, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And for those of us that have not experienced it, anytime you visit Nigeria, or you have the opportunity to visit Nigeria, make sure you go check it out. It's usually in December, right?
Yeah, December. Yeah.
So let's go back to the JAKPA moment, but probably even before that. What would you say inspired your decision to JAKPA or immigrate from Nigeria?
For me, it was kind of complex because, first of all, I didn't want to come to Canada. I had the means to come in 2006, 2007, right after university. I remember my elder brother bringing a form. Then it wasn't called Express Entry, it was Canada Immigration.
Yeah.
So it was like, how you ever fill this form, come to Canada? It was a natural path because all my brothers had come this way. And I was like, no, I am not going anywhere, because what I thought was that overseas, you only come here to work plates as an immigrant. For real. That's what I actually thought. That you only come here, you have to do menial jobs, you have to do survival jobs, because that was the experience. Those were the experiences of the people who had gone ahead before us.
That's true.
So I resisted coming here deliberately for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And it was sometime in 2016 when I noticed that I kind of like asked myself, is this the kind of environment where I want to raise my children? And that made me make the decision. And Nigeria is an amazing place. I will always say that. We have challenges back home, but some of those challenges made people like us sort of think and like, is this where we want to build our futures? So that was kind of what inspired me to come back.
That's true. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So 2016.
Yes, I made the movie 2016. It finalized in 2017, and I
Okay.
landed here on January 23rd, 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I still remember the date.
exactly.
It tells me how important that particular date is
Oh
to you.
yeah, yeah.
And did you come alone or you came with family or?
Oh, I came alone at first. I had family back, and I had to come here first of all, get settled, and then before I could bring my family in,
Okay.
which by the grace of God happened that way. And for me, it has been an amazing experience. Like I will say that JAKPA for me, I was forced to JAKPA more or less. So yeah, that's kind of what it was. Yeah.
So let's go back to when you landed in Canada. Did you come straight to Calgary or you landed in some other city first of all? Or
Okay, for me, I landed in Toronto first,
okay.
and then I got on a flight to Calgary. But one of the first things that one experiences I had was when I landed, my flight was delayed in, I think it was in Addis Ababa also. So we kind of like got here late, and my connecting flight to Calgary I missed the flight. So I wasn't sure where the terminal was to actually get on WestJet.
Oh,
Because
okay.
when you land, you come to Air Canada Terminal 1, you have to go to Terminal 3, that's where
Right.
WestJet is. So,
Yeah.
and I just timidly asked a lady there, please, where can I find Terminal 3? And this person stopped, it was shocking to me because this person stopped what they were doing and literally guided me
All the
find,
way.
yes. So that's when I
Amazing.
knew I was in Canada. So maybe I'll be guided out. Yeah, truly.
Because
Yeah.
Nigeria, nobody has
Nobody
your
knows.
turn. They'll probably
Nobody.
go straight,
Yeah.
turn left, go.
Exactly. So,
And when you landed, was there immediately any kind of culture shock that you experienced from the moment you landed in Toronto?
well, the people were nicer. That was the only first thing I noticed.
Yeah.
And then I also, for me, because fortunately I had family here already. My father went to school in Canada in the 60s.
Okay.
So I mean, almost like one had been prepped already to know what to expect. So I didn't have too much of a culture shock. I would say
Okay.
that was my experience.
Oh, that's good. So your dad was here in the 60s,
Yeah.
finished schooling.
Yeah. Literally grew up here.
Okay.
And then went back to Nigeria
Oh,
to
wow.
have us and all that.
So he jackpot and
rejackpot back there.
and went back to base. Amazing. So
Yeah.
from Toronto, you came to Calgary, and then what was the first couple of weeks like?
Well, landing here, the first priority was getting a job. Of course, the weather was minus
And
35.
what month? What
This
month?
was January.
January.
So it was one of those weekend months where you got just minus 30s, minus 35.
Oh my God.
So landing, I noticed that, in fact, I thought over the joke that the first night I slept, I actually was shocked that I woke up and I still saw like that was, Nigeria, Nepal. So it was exciting for me. And my focus for the first 2-3 weeks was getting a job. That was where I was like, I came here with one purpose at all, which is like getting focused, get a job. And I told my brother then, I said, hey, look, I don't care if I have to go be a bouncer. I don't care if I have to go wash dishes. The mindset was, I was ready to do whatever honest occupation there was to actually just get started. That was kind of what it was for me. Okay, yeah.
So did you get to do like any survival job first when you landed, or you went straight into something corporate?
Well, I was very fortunate. I got 3 job offers the first week.
Oh wow.
I landed. And I'll tell you why. It was preparation. Like I said, I refused to come to Canada for 10 years. And I'm happy I did not jackpot then because I learned a lot of things. Nigeria teaches you a lot of things. Like I learned a lot of things going into my 20s, early 30s. I learned a whole lot. So before I came here, I did a ton of research to find out, okay, what were the trends? What was really, really in demand? So I took over 100 courses online.
Oh wow.
I'm a software engineer, but it was in demand, but you could go learn something else. So I was literally focused on what exactly was in demand. So I had to learn how to write a proper resume, which I found out was job search was totally different here.
Sure.
So I did that, and I actually paid someone to do a resume for me just to see and learn how it works. Then before I landed in Canada, I actually got a job while I was in Nigeria with a company based in Montreal, a remote job.
Okay.
And I got fired after 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
That was my first experience. I got fired after 2 weeks. So I asked myself, like, why did I get fired? And it was because there was a cultural shock in the way we worked back there and here were different. So that's what made me take a pause, go do a bunch of courses,
Yeah.
improve and update my knowledge. So before I landed here, I was on my own. I was prepared for the market.
So the remote job, were you already working in Nigeria before?
Yes, I worked for about 2 weeks in Nigeria. This was
Okay.
6 months before I landed. 2 weeks in Nigeria, and I got with that company in Montreal. I got fired, and then they're like, and I realized that that was actually the best thing that happened to me, because it allowed me to kind of research how the Canadian environment works. It's totally different in North America than what you're used to back in Africa.
Yeah.
So I kind of did my homework before coming, and it showed, because the moment I landed, I got a phone number, and I updated my LinkedIn with my email, phone number, resume. My phone started ringing.
Oh,
Like, I literally did not apply for submit any resume.
When you came.
Yeah, when I came, I literally got
Interesting.
interviews just from there, because I kind of knew the things that the recruiters were looking for. I knew the work. So my resume will show up, hundreds of recruiters on their systems. My resume will automatically appear in front of them. And that was my experience, though.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's someone out there who's probably just getting in, getting settled, struggling to even get a call from a recruiter. And this would be an amazing tip for someone out there.
Oh yeah. In fact, this is what inspired me. My current job, what I do, I run a company that helps people find jobs and prepare themselves for their careers using AI. The company is called JobSeek AI, and it's based off my own experience that I decided, okay, let me give back. Let me see how I can teach people to actually using tools to get themselves prepared.
Right.
As well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to JobSeek.ai.
Okay.
Because I know that is going to be a tremendous tool to a lot of viewers out there who are struggling or who either need help to be able to get them in front of recruiters out there. So when you came over within the first year after leaving Nigeria, what would you say was like the hardest part about starting life in a new country?
For me, I would say it was learning how to associate with other people here, because I found out the culture is different.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, you can meet somebody today at the bar, before you guys are buddies like the next
Like
week.
how far?
Exactly. Here it was kind of different. At that time, there were not even that many Africans like in the professional spaces. So one of my first jobs I got was at Deloitte, and there was like almost 800 people there. And I'll show up, I'm the only Nigerian there, or the only African there.
Yeah.
So communicating and kind of like making friendships, connections was the biggest challenge I faced while I first landed.
And as part of networking, especially in a field like IT, like that's a very important component of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So sometimes you walk into a room and you're the only Black person there.
Yeah.
How did you manage to build up your confidence to not only know that you deserve to be in the room, but you had something of value to offer?
I would say I'll credit that to my Nigerianness. Because there's something we say, Nigerian they carry last.
True.
Meaning that for those who don't understand, it means Nigerians will never be last.
No
We'll
way.
we'll always show up. We'll always be at our best. So when we have this natural confidence that, some people call it arrogance, but I call it confidence. So even when I was, when I joined RBC, for example, I was the only engineer there, only Black engineer there, over 300 people. And I kind of got used to it. I was like, of course, people will be looking at you like, okay, are you meant to be here? You think you might get imposter syndrome, but I was like, no. I was like, literally, I'm here to school.
I deserve to be here.
It's like that was kind of my energy, and I think I also attribute that to my experiences in Nigeria.
Okay.
The kind of things I had done there, the projects I worked on. Nigeria gave all us. I'll tell you, I must credit their administration in Nigeria. The singular thing they did, having banks and GSM networks adopt technology, so we were actually way ahead on so many fronts. So that's from a technological standpoint. So when we got here, even in the banking systems, we saw what they had, and we were like, "Hey, this isn't insecure. This is nothing." Like this. So we had a lot to offer, and that kind of like boosted our confidence, our image, and a whole bunch of things.
Because back home, there's like a lot of scams going on.
Yeah.
So the more the scammers are like stepping up their game, the IT folks are also stepping up their game.
100%.
And getting here and you look at maybe some platforms and you look at the security of the platforms and you're like, this is not, it's not robust enough
Exactly.
compared to what we've seen back at home.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Building community when you got here. What was the experience like?
It was organic. Luckily, I had a brother who was here. I had two brothers who were here. Three
Okay.
brothers actually. One of them is a pilot now. He left to go back to Nigeria to fly private jets.
Sure.
But for me, it was easy, kind of like, first of all, interacting with the Nigerian community. My brother already had friends here, so it was easy for those became my friends, initial friends as well. Then we kind of like even other communities too. I used to attend events. I'm very social. I will walk into I'm always the person to always be crashing to an event. I will walk in there, smile and say, hi, how are you? This is me. And so kind of learning that in Canada, Canada is a very friendly society. It's open. And if you're willing, it's what you give out. The energy you give out is what you get back. So I learned that as a principle. So the first thing was finding out my own tribe. Who are the people here? What I mean by tribe, I mean people with similar ideas, regardless of race, ethnicity, culture. Who are your people here? That was one of the first things I found.
True.
And also learning the culture here, how to, even the cultural differences as well. At work, if you call your boss, yes, sir, he gets offended. That was kind of
He doesn't want to feel old.
exactly, and it's not even it's not regarded as a sign of respect.
True.
Yeah, but compare that to back home in Nigeria, that was the norm and that was respected. So learning those differences and making friends, it came kind of naturally for me. Yeah.
Amazing. Your first job here, you worked as a software engineer.
Yeah.
How did you transition from that into getting to a point where you wanted to start building things on your own?
I've naturally always been an entrepreneur. Even back in Nigeria, I did 10 years of as an entrepreneur before coming here. So I've always known that was my path, my natural path. But so for me, it was a learning process. Imagine someone who has never had to work before.
Yeah.
I've never worked for anybody before. Next thing I came here, I had to learn the ethics of the workplace, how to be, and in a way, I would say I initially struggled because the struggle was in entrepreneurship. You have an idea, you talk to one or two people, you act on it, and
Sure.
you can try it out and test it. The culture is different. In the workplace, there's a process. So for me,
Well-defined process.
Give an example. Like when I was at Deloitte, I was a senior consultant at Deloitte, and one of the first jobs I got, and I kind of like I decided to do things in an unconventional way to get the project I was working on to the finish line. And people, the higher ups thought the project was going to fail, but because of the unconventional approach, one fluke, we got it done and done excellently well.
Faster.
But I got penalized for that.
Oh, intentional
that is
process.
startup culture. That's entrepreneurial culture. But I have heard lately that things have changed now in those places. That they're more open to working. The ways of work have kind of like evolved. But at that time, it was very kind of close-minded. So that was my struggle there.
Yeah.
Then it was sometime when I had moved to Toronto. I moved back to Toronto. I joined RBC, and then I had an idea, and that idea came from the experiences with some of my buddies there. We were going to a club one night. We didn't have enough money to buy a table. And I was like, okay. And we turned back. We couldn't go. So I was like, there's so many of us who have this same issue.
True.
Wow, we have only $100. We just paid rent. And what if you brought all of us together through an app? And everybody just comes in, and then we all chip in together.
True.
And get a table. And the bill is split automatically before we get there. We never need to know each other. And then at the end of the night, we all rate each other, since everybody here behaves themselves.
Okay.
So that was my first startup, my first idea, and that's how I kind of got into entrepreneurship. And it went that way from there.
So you saw a problem, you identified a gap, and you thought about creating an app that would address that particular gap.
Yeah.
I think that's a typical entrepreneurial journey for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But there's something important you said, which goes back to the corporate culture where things want to be done in a conventional way. But in the entrepreneurial space is about moving fast, being agile, being ready to try things, even failing, learning from that, and then moving forward. And then comparing that with the corporate world where It's like completely different.
Yeah.
Looking back, what has been your most, I would say, your proudest moment?
My proudest moment on this JAKPA journey has been inspiring lots of people to be on a path that is, in fact, has elevated so many families. I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
There's a platform now that's very popular in the Black community called ServiceNow.
Yes.
And most people may not know it, but I actually brought ServiceNow.
Oh, wow.
And this is what happened. So it was still at Deloitte, where I worked. Shout out to Deloitte, amazing company. I learned a lot there. In fact, my current career in AI started from there.
Interesting.
So Deloitte sent me to Walmart because, you're a software engineer. All right, you're going to the US. First 2 weeks I joined them. Sent to Walmart to go deliver to do a deployment on ServiceNow.
Okay.
So I had just 2 weeks to learn. ServiceNow is this amazing platform that it's used for service handling requests. You know how you want to submit maybe a laptop,
Right.
you want to get a new laptop, you send a request on a portal. That's ServiceNow that handles everything. So I was sent to go do an integration task in ServiceNow. And when I got there, I was like, I did the task, did the job, came back. My younger brother at that time, who's like a huge expert in ServiceNow today.
Yeah.
So he had just lost his job in oil and gas. That was when the Calgary oil market turned upside down. Lots of people were laid off. So he was kind of frustrated. I was like, no, dude, man, come, get up in the morning. See, I'm reading my ServiceNow books. You're going to be reading that one.
Yeah.
So I pushed him my
To
books.
get started.
Yeah, to get started. And he was like, oh my God, I love this. And he got started with it. He took it more seriously. And in a month or two, he had written his first certification. He passed his first goal.
That's
The
the
next month,
CSA.
Yes. He had taken CSA. He got his
And for
first
those who don't know, that's a certified system administrator. in
Yeah,
service.
I was supposed to write the exam, but I was like, no, bro, you write the exam. So he got that started. And from there, my older brother now was like, oh, yo, when he saw my brother pass the exam, I saw him got his first job. He was like, yo, let's spread this thing around. He took it around. Like, yo, guys, jump on this. There's this new thing called ServiceNow. I don't know what it is, but you guys have to jump on it. So he spread the word. We kind of spread the word. First of all, people wrote the exams. They passed. They started getting jobs. So before you know it now, those first set of folks from that little table that we sat on, it spread from there. These guys told the next set of people, So before you know it now I think it's over 100 people in the community now who, from that same chain reaction, who actually
started spreading.
Yes. So I think my proudest moment was when I went to Toronto and someone came to me and told me, thank you.
Oh, wow.
He didn't know me, but he said he had heard that my brother actually trained him on ServiceNow, and my brother told him how he got into ServiceNow as well. So that was company, I would say
I know about your brother's story, but I never knew this was how he started.
Yeah.
Because I know right now he's like a ServiceNow advocate and champion.
Oh yeah, he is. I think to me, I beam with extreme pride when I think about, because I could have easily just kept those books on the table, and because he was trying to by that time go back to, he was trying to read JAKPA. I can imagine he was trying to read JAKPA to Nigeria, waiting for one LNG job that had been promised, but was taking forever to come, and that's exactly what literally stopped that motion there. So a little thing. And that's why I say, everyone, please share your knowledge. The most important thing to do in the community, don't hide, don't think because you have this. Feel free to always share that knowledge as well.
True. So if you could go back to the first 2 years when you got here and knowing what you know right now, is there anything you would have done differently within those first 2 years?
Yes, there are a couple of things. One of them is that I would have been, I think when you come in as a new immigrant, one of the first things you do is you pick up any kind of job. You just want to, I would have been a lot more, try to get more information. I'll tell you why. My first real job, actually, my first offer I got, the first week I landed here was at Huawei. I got a contract job, 150K a year, and I turned it down.
As a
contractor. Yeah, 150K, fresh out of boat, 150K. That's about 10 grand, 12 grand every month. I turned it down because I was told that contractors, because I still carry that Nigerian mindset, contractors were nuts, whatever. And I went to the go and take a job that was paying me at first, the other job I got was under 100K, and
That's full time.
I full time. Then I started struggling my way back up like that.
Okay.
So I would say that I would have probably done a lot more research in that area as well. Then of course, but nevertheless, I think everything happens for a reason, and there was a learning process that I had to go through.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't jump into entrepreneurship immediately. That's kind of what I would say I did well.
Okay.
Because I had to learn the system. So anybody coming in here listening, if you are new, please do not just come back. Even if you were a startup founder back in Nigeria, come back, humble yourself, get a job, learn into the system, integrate first before you can actually step out and solve problems.
I've come across a couple of people that they started their journey in whether it's Canada or US or wherever they went to. And after a while, they actually felt like giving up and going back. Was there a time where you're probably working on something where you ever thought of like, was this a good decision for me? Did I make the right choice? Or were you ever thought of going back one way or the other?
Well, for me, my story in Nigeria was a story of struggle. I built a whole ton of technologies there, and I never really got anything out of it there.
Yeah.
So, like for example, the first job verification system for NAFDAC in 2008, I built that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't get anything there. Someone else ended up doing it. I did one of the first mobile lotteries in Nigeria. I built that. Never got anywhere. So, to me, the journey in Nigeria it was a journey of frustration, and I can share that now because there was never a point where I thought of going back because I was like, what am I going back to? More or less. And even when I even tried to go back, I found out, unfortunately, things were still not as. Yeah, so I'll tell anybody here who's thinking of going back, if you have what's working for you back home, yeah, why not? But if you are still persevering, you came here with that desire to elevate yourself and elevate your economic circumstances, I'll tell you straight up, it's very possible. There are no barriers to growth. I've met people here. By the way, I've been on Dragon's Den here even before. No, that's a different story I'll tell you about. Well, one of the people on Dragons that I met, he came from Jamaica.
Okay.
And he's worth almost $500 million today. He came here with almost nothing, no education. We try, we even carry university degree. This guy literally came here with almost nothing. And today is that. So Canada, North America is an opportunity. Take advantage of it. It might be rough today, but still stay hard and try.
That's a good message for someone out there who is probably struggling or someone who is thinking about JAKPA at this point in time.
Yeah.
The struggle is going to be there, but be very clear on your why you got there in the first place, and then build community around you and learn from other people. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit. I want to touch on Dragons Den before we move forward to some other things I wanted to go into. Yeah. So what year was that?
This was 2023. Yeah.
Okay.
23 was on Dragons Den, May 2023.
Okay. And what were you pitching?
I was pitching a startup I did at that time called PayTalk. In fact, what you call ChatGPT today, at that time I was trying to make it work on an Alexa. So you could basically tell Alexa, hey, Alexa, instead of saying, hey, Alexa, turn off my lights, Alexa, send $20 to my mom back home in Nigeria, and Alexa would do it. That company I got investment from Amazon. I kind of like ended up on Dragon's Den, but it was a bit too early. Technology was a bit too early at that time.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I pitched on Dragon's Den. I was invited, showed up, did my pitch. And I will say that the beauty about where we are today is that AI has evolved to the point where it's mainstream. So at that time, AI was on the fringe. It was kind of difficult to convince people, tell people, hey, this is what AI thing can do for you. We're afraid of AI. So that's kind of what it is.
So with the AI voice technology, so Alexa, Siri, so was that like integrating these different like voice, conversational, is that what you call it?
It was called conversational commerce.
Okay.
Yes. And conversational commerce at that time was not widely accepted, even though we knew that's the future.
Yeah.
And in fact, some of the things we did with PayTalk at that time have not even been done till now. And we're like, okay, when the time is right, maybe we'll visit that again, bring that up again. But that was kind of where I got my hands really, really dirty into entrepreneurship in North America. So at one point, I moved to Silicon Valley. I met the guy who created Siri. I had to go get advice from him. I would say I kind of saw it all. Even the aspects, there were some aspects where, of course, they say, "Oh, you called an idea, people will throw money at you." That's not how it happened. The pitching, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into building a company.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say that entrepreneurship is an amazing journey if you are prepared for it. But it can also be, you can get yourself burned. So be prepared. Ensure that you have, first of all, your family is not going to suffer if there's no paychecks coming in. Make sure you prepare very well for that, and take advantage of as many grants as possible. Back then, we didn't have as much grants, but right now there's so many grants for Black founders. There's so many grants for entrepreneurs, like especially in Alberta and even Ontario. So many grants right now. Yeah.
So for someone who is thinking about going into starting a business for themselves, what's your recommendation? Because I've heard a lot of people, they get excited about an idea. They feel like, hey, you know what, this is golden. And before you know it, they stop working and jump into it knee deep, waist deep. And after a couple of months, they're like, this is not going the way I expected it to go.
Yeah.
So for someone who has that good idea, and I know you've already touched on it, but I just want folks to see this from your experience. First, as someone who has built companies, who has ventured into the entrepreneurial space, and someone out there right now who is thinking, he has a 9 to 5, but also wanting to start a business. What's your recommendation for that person?
I would say be careful, plan it very well, and don't fall in love with your own Kool-Aid. That's kind of what I would say. Don't drink your own Kool-Aid. You might think you have an amazing idea. Validate that idea properly before you step out. Also, anticipate challenges that you have never thought of. Think of the worst, but hope for the best. And so don't quit your job. At some point in my journey, I went back to 9 to 5. In fact, I'm currently running 3 AI companies right now, and I'll tell the story about how that started.
Okay.
But when things didn't go the way I expected with Paytalk, even with investments from people like Amazon, with Dragon's Den, all of these things, then things actually crashed and burned there. What I did was, because I had my skills, I easily went back into a 9 to 5 to try to recover. And before I came back stronger at this time.
Okay.
So don't just quit your job and think, oh, it's going to be the way you plan it. No, always have a backup plan, have a plan B, have a plan C, a plan D. And
a backup of a backup.
Yeah, and you need a partner who, if either you have a partner who is like a backup also as well.
Sure.
And that's kind of what you need as well.
Okay. Now, I'm going to soften things a little bit because I know you've been going hard for it. So I'm going to give you 2 options. I want you to quickly tell me the one that rings the bell the most for you. Jollof rice or shawarma?
What kind of shawarma? Is it Nigeria shawarma? Oh, Canadian shawarma.
Nigeria shawarma.
Oh, no, I'll go with Nigeria shawarma. But if it were Canadian shawarma, jollof rice immediate, man.
Okay.
No, but the Nigerian shawarma, I do not know what this guy's putting there. Please, anybody who makes shawarma, please send us your recipe. We don't know what you guys put in there. It is like the tastiest thing ever.
It hits differently.
It hits differently. Like I order shawarma here and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Honestly, here it's almost like you have to, if you learn how to make it, the homemade one is even better.
Yeah. In fact, this is one of the things I miss about Nigeria. Like every time I go back there, I stop by a shawarma place first just to get my
just to press reset.
Yeah.
All right. Winter or summer?
Oh man, summer anytime, man. Summer. Although winter has its own, I'm learning how to do the whole winter sports thing and all that. But so for me, I think summer is the patio season, the barbecues, the inter-house parties. Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
I mean, I think, when it comes to winter, I think a lot of folks have not really adjusted to what different activities that they can be doing during winter.
Yeah.
Especially the winter in Canada, where sometimes in, Alberta or Calgary, where we are, it hits like -30 sometimes.
Yeah.
It's almost like everybody just hibernates during that period and they just want to shut down. But a lot of people that winter is a fantastic period for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those who are into skiing, those
Mm.
who have probably figured out, one thing or the other. Those who are skating, they learn how to do ice skating and stuff, and
Yeah.
then keeps them busy. I personally would want to build my winter activities a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit more
Yeah. Yeah.
because whether we like it or not, we have the culture where
Culture.
we
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
and figure out what to do during winter rather than
Yep.
just shutting down.
Definitely.
All right, Nollywood or Hollywood?
Man, that's a hard one now. But like this time last year, I would have gone Hollywood straight out. But
Okay.
there's a recent movie I watched called To Kill a Monkey. I'll shout out to, or first of all, shout out to the other guy who acted the role, played the role. In fact, everybody who played the role.
In the
Like
movie.
Nollywood has like Nollywood has been reborn. I mean, use that word.
Yeah.
So I'm finding myself now finding it hard to answer that question because it is there's a resurgence, like a renaissance is going on in Nollywood right now that I
Yeah.
really appreciate. And I give shout out to the people who are making
Yeah.
all that happen.
I think a lot of the directors right now are doing an amazing job. To Kill a Monkey, I mean, when I watched the movie, I think I started on a Friday and by Saturday I was done with it because
Wow.
it
You watched
was so
nonstop.
engaging.
Yeah.
So shout out to the cast and the crew behind that movie, Kemi Adetiba. I
Yep.
think you guys did an
Oh,
amazing job.
Yeah.
And for you to actually pause between Nollywood and Hollywood and
Yeah.
you say, hey, I need to think about this.
No, for real.
It means they're doing an
Yeah.
amazing job
Yeah.
and it's showing.
And as a matter of fact, I love the fact that they are beginning to tell our stories. And that's where I'm thinking that the next level is AI. That we have anybody out there, please learn AI. You can, if you're a story writer right now, you can create engaging videos, you can create engaging content using AI tools. You don't need to be at Kemi Adetiba's level, basically, right?
True.
But with tools and all that, you can start something. So yeah, I will tell you, like our story writers and directors are doing fantastic. Yeah.
My own little experience with AI was while I was thinking about the podcast and I was thinking about the theme song for the podcast, which we're going to play it for you guys, by the way.
JAKPA Stories, we're on the run, chasing the moon, dodging the sun. One-way ticket, never boring. Here we go with JAKPA Stories.
And that song was actually created using AI.
Wow.
And if you hear it, the lyrics, the vocals, the beats, everything is top notch.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll definitely like. And then talking about AI, let me see. Like what I currently do is like my platform is called JobSeek AI.
Okay.
We're basically using AI to help people like craft better resumes, and we even reward you for doing things like activities that help you get a job.
Okay.
So you get cryptocurrency every time you take a training on the platform. You get crypto. Every time you apply for a job, you get crypto and all that. So the other thing, or that component of AI is,
And what's the website for those who want to check it out?
it is jobseek.work.
Jobseek.work.
Yeah,
Okay.
www.jobseek.work.
Okay.
You can try it out and all that. And the cool part is, like, if you refer someone to it, you earn crypto every month. That person pays their subscription as well.
Interesting.
So I kind of reimagined it from being that person's like, hey, how do you, with job losses right now, AI is causing a whole lot of job losses. We know that. And but AI is creating opportunities now where you can build businesses in a fly. There's a whole bunch of AI tools. Every year I teach an AI course. Then the other thing I would advise people to do as well, if you're a newcomer as well, AI, look into cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Crypto and blockchain and AI are merging. And blockchain and crypto is now the currency that AI tools, AI agents now will be using to pay each other. So if you want to get in early, there's crypto was too early on platforms like Ethereum, Bitcoin. Learn about those as well. That is the future. The US is ahead in a whole bunch of these things, and they made some. They've opened up those markets for lots of people. So take advantage of that as well. That's kind of what I'll let.
Okay. And do you have any recommendation for those who want to learn a little bit more about it? Where do they find more information?
Okay.
Are there courses that they can take, or is it just simply doing some research on YouTube and stuff?
The thing is, there's a lot of content on YouTube.
Okay.
There's so much. Go on YouTube, just type in "Get Started with AI." Then you go on Udemy, udemy.com. It's also another website where you have a lot of AI courses
Okay.
and AI tools. There's a lot of content out there right now that you can try. Because one thing I will tell you is that between 2018 and now, 7 years now, the market has changed. So the advice of the approaches I used in 2018 to land a job may not land you a job in 2025.
2025. That's true.
So you have to learn AI. You have to learn how to use AI. You don't need to know how to build AI tools, but how to use AI technology, how to use it to get ahead. There's a very interesting saying that says it is not AI that will take your job, it's the person using AI that
That's
will
true.
take your job. So,
Let's go back to jobseek.org.
okay.
So does it work with JobsCoin? So the both platforms work together. And for viewers out there who are interested in using it, I want you to walk us through.
Okay.
I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
I have a resume that I've put together.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not well crafted, or it's probably just medium. There are possibly gaps on my resume.
Mhm.
When I go to jobseek.org, what am I expecting that platform to help me do?
So basically, what it does is like you typically, when you're looking for a job, you go to different multiple job websites.
Indeed,
LinkedIn.
Glassdoor. Yeah.
So it's a very, very tedious process. You send 100 applications, you hope somebody
Something
will
comes
respond.
through. Yeah.
So now what JobSeek does is you come on JobSeek, just upload your resume, and we tell you, okay, based on your experience, these are the career paths that you are possibly suited for.
Okay.
Then we search for jobs across all the job websites.
Interesting.
All of them, Indeed, LinkedIn, whatever. 5 seconds, we do a whole search for you. Then we analyze each job and tell you which ones you are likely to get, you should apply for, and which ones you should not apply for as well.
Does it show a percentage?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
It shows you
have
a 90, this is you have a
90%.
90% chance of this one.
Okay.
Now, the skills you're missing, we show you the skills you're missing for each job. The training content, the learning content that you need to actually
get those
skills, we show it to you as well.
Amazing.
And then that's even just one part of it. And then, okay, now you have each job now, you want to apply. I found in the process, people may not know, but you typically have to make a fresh resume for almost every application and cover letter.
That's very
That
true.
is stressful. So you either have to go ChatGPT, throw your resume, paste the job description. That's if you know how to do it there. But with JobSeek, you just click on one button, it generates this resume, this cover letter that's tailored for that specific job.
Amazing.
One click. And then we reward you with crypto that actually you can trade for Bitcoin. And it's really real money. We're doing all that. So it is a revolutionary platform. In fact, JobSeek, we launched it. We relaunched JobSeek with a rewards scheme. We launched it just a couple of days ago.
Okay.
And we are seeing amazing traction. There's so much. People are just in love with the whole idea that, oh, wow. So I can actually get something.
While even applying for the job.
You take a course. Then we have a section for mentorship. Mentorship is also important. Because realize that without mentors, you may not be able to go far. So when you go find a mentor and you send a request to mentor, the mentor accepts you, and we pay you in crypto as well for just being under
Does
the
the mentor get
the mentor get paid as well. So anybody can be a mentor. You can go in there if your area of expertise is on maybe content writing, media, go there, be a mentor. Put it under the media section and let people come find you, and you get paid each time people connect with you. They get paid too for just connecting with you and communicating with you. We have even a full meeting system implemented, all of that in there as well.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I better go on that platform because I have a lot of skills that need to be leveraged for sure.
One key though, well, just to add this, while you are even if you got a 9-to-5 job today, figure out how to make money while you sleep. That is the key thing about North America. You have to learn to make money while you sleep. Yeah. So whatever it is.
Okay. That's really good. So let's switch to the other AI platform that I know you're working on, Conversity
AI.
What does Conversity do?
Conversity it's basically an intelligent phone, just an intelligent phone system.
Okay.
Every business has a phone, and you call the business. Sometimes they will not answer. Businesses miss a lot of customers and clients. So we built an intelligent AI that knows everything about the business. You upload everything about your business, and the AI can answer the phone for your business, can take calls, can even do things like reservations, take orders, do all that over the phone. You think you're talking to a person. And this AI speaks 19 languages, even in accents. It has accents like even Nigerian accents.
Interesting.
So your Conversity, the idea was, how do we help give businesses AI agents that they can set up and even make something like cold calling.
Yeah.
If you're in a job where you have to cold call every time you have to dial, just use Conversity, put up a spreadsheet with all your
The
contacts.
context.
There, put your message, whatever, set the accent, set the thing, click on one button, go grab coffee, come back. And
And
just
it
call
sounds
everybody.
like a human.
Yes, very human sounding. You probably will not know that it's not human. You think it's yourself
Okay.
speaking. And it can do prospecting, can do lead generation, like a whole bunch of things there. So the idea of Conversity was like, and it was born while I was teaching an AI class.
Okay.
I was like, okay, you know what, guys, I'm going to build a company right here and show you guys how easy it is to do stuff like this. I did that in my class. And I was like, oh, wow, this thing actually works. And next thing you know, I got my first client. So that's kind of what it
Amazing.
was. Then the third business,
No, I
which
want-
I'm waiting for you.
I'm still on Conversity.
Okay.
Because I've always been interested in real estate. And there's this stuff in real estate called wholesaling, where it doesn't really work a lot in Canada, but especially in the States, it works really well. Where you get a couple of leads. Sometimes you could get a list of maybe like over 200 prospective clients, probably people that are in different situations that want to sell their properties. And sometimes you have to go through that list by making the calls yourself.
Yeah.
So the moment you're talking about that, that's where my mind is going through. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have the time to call 200 people.
Yeah.
But if I can hand it over to something,
Yeah.
to an AI, can I put my voice in it?
Oh, yeah.
Or I have to use
Well, for now,
the existing voices that are there?
we have preset voices for now.
Okay.
But there's a feature which is rolling out next week, which allows you to create a clone of your own voice.
Okay.
Of course, there's ethical considerations around this. We want to make sure that people are not using other people's voices because you don't want to have scams and all that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the thin line is. But there's that capability where you can call all these people and talk to them about these particular things. And then the cool part is that Conversity has an integration into CRMs, even into ServiceNow.
Oh.
So you can basically, we use that feature for incident reporting.
Yeah.
So we now have cases where typical incident reporting flow in ServiceNow, you create a service portal, someone goes, fills out a form. So they could call the phone number, AI answers the call, AI builds the incident report. And
it creates the incident.
Yes. And that's the thing. So
populates all the
of that.
details.
So Conversity has that actually.
Interesting.
So, but from the real estate perspective, you can even just make out the call, just set it up, set up the messaging, have the AI game it out, test it out yourself,
Okay.
and click on one button, upload a spreadsheet in there, and in 5 seconds you come back, you go leave it, go come back. It has called everyone. It has analyzed and classified the responses, the sentiment analysis. You see the color
Okay.
green. Oh, this person wants your service.
Business.
You
Yeah.
can follow up there. Oh, red, this person wasn't responsive. Orange, yeah, ambivalent. So you can, that's kind of what that
Interesting.
does. That's
Yeah. No, I would definitely want to test it out because
And we also even added something for food ordering. We built a full DoorDash Uber Eats that restaurants can use on the phone for their phone services for. You may not know this, but each time you do skip the dishes DoorDash, skip the dishes, Uber Eats take over 30% from the restaurant. So the profit restaurant has
30%.
Yeah.
So a lot
you
of the
get charged
profit is
as a
not
customer.
really going
No.
to the restaurant,
Yes.
to the platform itself.
Yes. So what we did with Conversity was build out a full-fledged ordering system over the phone that you call the restaurant. So a human answers, I want a bar, I want this, I want that. In fact, we started with the restaurant called 360 Grill here in
Right.
Calgary. Shout out to 360
Shout out
Grill.
to 360.
They are on Conversity as well. You can call and a nice sounding lady answers the phone. You say, okay, what would you like to order? I would like to order puff, this, that. It takes the order and it can actually even deliver the order to you. It will call an Uber on its own. Deliver to you, tell it at your location, postal code, it delivers it to you, sends you a tracking link when the order is
Wow.
ready, all of that. So that's what we did with Conversity. Now you might be wondering, why did I pack in so much into this? And I told myself, I said, this is my second incarnation of being a startup founder, an entrepreneur. And this time I'm going to do the opposite of what they tell you to do. They tell you, focus on one thing and do it well. No, I'll tell you no. Because the disadvantage of that is that you assume you know what the customer wants. Start from the point of, and this is for everybody out there who's probably thinking of starting a business, do not focus on what you think. Go there come up with a bunch of ideas, implement, and let the data speak to you and tell you
Yeah.
what to focus on.
Data will always
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
speak for itself.
Yes. So that has been the approach. And this has allowed me to build 3 companies at the same time while while still having a 9-to-5 job. And all that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm thinking for every small business out there that, a lot of businesses, when you close, sometimes someone is calling, nobody's picking up.
Yeah.
So think about off hours.
Yeah.
Where your business is officially closed, but your AI agents are still working for you
100%.
and still bringing in the leads.
100%. And in some cases, it's even doing business for you.
Amazing.
Yeah, like there's a use case where you can have law firms who are using Conversity for consultation. You call and they say, okay, well, you tell it, okay, this is what I'm coming for. It says, okay, but I'm going to send you a link.
Okay.
You have to pay $200 consultation fee before we can book you in with a lawyer. And you make the payment, it takes the money and all that, and it does the booking.
Interesting.
Basically, yeah, that's kind of
almost collecting like upfront.
Yeah.
Sub retainer.
And we have a feature for nightclubs too. So you might be, if you're a popular nightclub goer, you might see a club. You might have some few clubs in Calgary now where you call and then an AI answers the phone and tells you, okay, how many guests are coming.
Probably calling to book a table or something.
Yes, table service is also a big one. I don't want to call names down, but there's something coming in that regard. So if you see that, you just know that's Conversity actually at the back end working.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And for those who are looking to get to learn more about Conversity, what's the website for it?
It is conversity.io.
Conversity.io.
Yes, or conversity.org. You can use any of them both, but .io will get you more of the information.
Okay.
And go try it out. And it's self-service. That's the beautiful part. You go in there, you set it up yourself. Just pick up your whatever service you want, and you go ahead with it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Guys, this is exactly why we started this podcast, because I know there are folks out there that are considering doing different things away from the 9-to-5. Now, don't be complacent. Try it out. But like Neji rightly said, don't jump in fully until you've been able to test your market. And I think this is a great way to test it.
Yeah.
While you still have your 9-to-5, but a lot of these really interesting companies that you're building on the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last one is Rocket Receipts. I personally, I've had my own experience where in the past where I've worked as a consultant or as a contractor. And one of the things that you get to deal with is making sure you have your receipts at every point in time, because the CRA can decide to audit you at any time. And a lot of times using your phone to take pictures of the receipts, I've tried some different apps in the past, but it sounds like Rocket Receipts is coming up with something different.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Okay. What part would you like to know how it started?
Let's go back. Let's go back to how
so since we're talking JAKPA Stories.
Frustration.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of times it's always the problem or the gap that you identify that brings up that idea. So how did that start?
This started with me. I had gone to Nigeria where I was in Pay Talk right after Dragon's Den. I got an offer on Dragon's Den.
Okay.
And that offer was pertinent to me being able to seal a deal. I had made a claim that, I was going to seal a deal with a particular government in Nigeria, where I was from, Cross River State. And I had built in a touch-based system. So I went to Nigeria, long story short, did the project, developed something for tax management, extended using Pay Talk as the platform. Now, of course, Nigeria, you know how things are. Things became upside down. And we crashed and burned just very badly.
Okay.
So I returned to Canada, and then I see this big letter from the CRA saying, hey, you owe us this amount.
Where's our money?
So at that point, I was like, what? Like, where am I going to, like, and I have this big bag of receipts. Like, I keep my receipts like in a bag. So this big, massive bag. At that point, I'm like, man, how am I going to start writing? It is everything. It's like around almost 700 receipts, everything.
Yeah.
So and then I was experimenting with AI, the AI for that became JobSeek. So I now took that same platform. I said, okay, let me just create a little side project that if I can take, because that AI was supposed to capture resumes. I was going to take a photo of my paper resume, and then take it and analyze it.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, if I could take the same technology, I took the photo of the receipts, and the same technology I had built could analyze receipts. I now touched it up a bit, and I found out I could put a bunch of receipts together, 20, 30
Just
of
like
them,
put them flat on the
all
table.
of them into one photograph. And my AI technology could analyze, take everything, break into one by one, do an analysis, tell you how much taxes each one, tell you each product. And that's how Rocket Receipts was born. So I now, okay, no, I don't build an app for it. Built an app for it. And next thing you know, I saw my first subscriber around $20 a month.
Oh, wow.
I was like, damn, this is a product.
And
People
these are
want.
all subscription services.
Subscription-based services, SaaS.
Amazing.
You know, so Rocket Receipts now, we just rolled out the new version of it, which is very efficient. In fact, it does. And you can even ask the AI. Now, here's the interesting part. You can ask the AI, how much did I spend in tips this year? The AI will analyze everything because you've uploaded all those receipts.
All the
And tell you exactly. You can export that into an Excel spreadsheet, into QuickBooks, any accounting system. You can literally makes your life easier. So what we're doing with Rocket Receipts is that we go to your accountant, or if you want to sign up, just go sign up. You can get it. But we went to accountants and we made it free for accountants.
Amazing.
Give it to them for free. But now it's their clients who pay the subscription. So if you want to be a subscription, you can be subscribed and you can connect your account to your accountants directly. Just tell your accountant about it. Hey, there's this app. Just connect it for free. He uses it for free and he can do your accounting for you very easily. So that's kind of how Rocket Receipts works.
I'm going to be getting my accountant on the podcast.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm going to ask her if she has tried this, because it's a pain in the ass to put these receipts together.
I know. And that's why, in fact, today, every time I use Rocket Receipts, I myself cannot even believe it. I was like, wow, did I really build this? Like, literally. Yeah. But from a problem, just solving that problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I tried QuickBooks at some point. QuickBooks, I connected it to my corporate account at some point. It wasn't putting the records correctly. And I was just like, I'm paying for a service. I'm not getting exactly what I need, because the whole aim is for it to make my life easier.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do those manual tasks.
Yeah.
But when it was time to do the filing, I had to still go back and manually get everything done. So
in fact, not without any looking at any other platforms, but no other platform has this capability that I mentioned right now. Or I've been seeing. The best you will see is, okay, take our receipts, scan one by one, scan. It's almost like taking your pen to kind of write down. It's still slow, but we are the first who built this thing where, at least the only ones we know for now, just put everything, line it up, and just take it. One photo, or you scan the whole thing, just scan it together. In fact, one of the accounting firms we work with today, she has gotten all her clients. So look, everybody, if you want to work with me, just go and get out the receipt. That's
amazing.
It makes her life easier.
And does it work with like videos as well, or just it has to be a photo that you're taking?
Just a photo. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot to soak in. And for Rocket Receipts, what's the website for those who want to check?
rocketreceipts.com.
Rocketreceipts.com.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're an accountant out there, if you're someone who is either working as a consultant or a contractor, you want your life to get easier with receipts, go check it out. Rocketreceipts.com.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm going to go back a little bit light on you, because we'll go hard, but we come back a little bit light.
Yeah.
iMessage or WhatsApp?
I think I'll go to WhatsApp.
Why did you go to WhatsApp?
iMessage is cool, but when you're texting somebody who is on a different phone system, like an Android, you are going to see, of course, the whole thing. And WhatsApp has a lot more capabilities as well. There's the integration with AI.
Yeah.
They're bringing in. And of course, Meta is doing a lot of work in AI right now. So that's why I kind of go with WhatsApp.
Yeah. I know the Android users and
the
iPhone users, different folks have different perspectives to it. Yeah. But I agree with that, because irrespective of the phone you're using, you still want to be able to communicate with people. So I think that's where the WhatsApp capabilities really stand out.
Yeah.
Football or basketball?
You mean football? You mean American football or
I'm gonna go back old school.
old school. Okay,
I grew up knowing, calling it football. I know
Okay.
right now there's a big
The big
conversation about soccer, football,
yeah.
but I'm going with
I will go.
soccer,
Yeah,
but I choose to call it football.
I will go with football, like soccer.
Okay.
And it's I know no harm to basketball. Basketball is great. I enjoy it, but there's something about that, kicking the ball and letting
Yeah.
it go. Yeah, so I think soccer for me anytime. Yeah.
All right. And fill in the blank here. The first time I used a bus in Canada, I thought,
I was like, oh wow, this is pretty organized. That was my first impression. Yeah.
compared to
Yeah,
your
yeah. So my
Nigerian
downfall
experience.
or my roller. So yeah.
And then this other one, when I heard my rent was this amount, I said,
When I heard my rent was $1,850, I did the math. I converted to naira, and I realized that I could buy plots of land in my room. 1 month's rent, but I could not live on the street. Yeah, so I had to pay the rent.
I know, right? Sometimes when
Mhm.
you do the conversion back and forth, and you're like,
Mhm.
this is exactly how much I'm paying every month.
Yeah,
And you know exactly how much that amount is going to do for you back at home.
yeah,
But regardless, like you said, it's you don't have a choice.
yeah, yeah.
And then this last one, the biggest blessing of immigrating is
I would say for me, it's been peace of mind.
okay.
Since I came to Canada, I have had a richer experience, a more peace of mind in the sense that I can do a job for somebody and not worry about not getting paid. That whole aspect of trust and a system that works.
Yeah.
It's priceless. I'm sorry, but you cannot put a price on that. Like
You don't
if
have
you
to
fall-
chase people for your money.
Oh yeah. And
Would
then
you
also if you
do your
fall
part?
sick, if something happens to you happening right now, you can take the phone, call 911, and in less than 2 minutes, someone is going to show up here at your
True.
door. That alone, I had an experience when I went back to Nigeria 2021. I just went there to do a project, and I kicked my toe on the fridge. I was going to grab a beer, kicked my toe on a hotel table, and it sliced my toe almost off. I was bleeding to death. I had to
Wow.
use my first aid, tie this thing, ran to, this was in Maitama, Abuja, and the hospital. They didn't have power.
Oh my God.
I literally had surgery without anesthesia that night. And that's when I realized that there's some things you cannot take for granted. Money is not everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to health, that's one area where you cannot compromise
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're blessed to be, the health system is not perfect. That's not
Mhm.
where we're going to, but
Mhm.
at least some things are working. Things are responsive, like 911 you talked about.
Mhm.
So it's a blessing for you want to go to the hospital when you're sick. You're not thinking of how much you're going to be
Pay.
charged
Exactly.
to pay.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, there are a lot of people that whenever they want to go to the hospital, maybe back in Nigeria, the first thing they think about is how much am I going to be asked to pay?
The hospital card, first of all. Where's your card? That first thing, so we know the stories. And even compared to other places like the States,
Yeah,
where if you don't have health insurance, you're completely in trouble. Like it is.
that's
So
true.
I would say Canada has done something really good there.
Is there one food that you tried when you got to Canada that you told yourself never again?
Oh my God. Let me see. What was that? I don't think there's anything I tried, but that I have not enjoyed. But I would say for me, I would, of course, I enjoy Nigerian food here. I still get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of Korean food, even Thai, Chinese, Asian as well.
Okay.
There's more like I am still struggling with mac and cheese.
Like a lot of kids love it.
Oh, my kids love it, man.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese. Oh my God. You for me, I don't know whether maybe I'm too African.
Probably.
Yeah.
You have to, if you want to
That
take mac
spice is
and
not there.
cheese, I would recommend you doing mac and cheese with a twist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try
So
the one with the
mac and cheese, but you twist it up with some of
Okay.
your ingredients that you still,
Yeah.
the spices that
Yeah.
will still give it a little bit of the taste that you're used to.
Yeah.
But so, Neji, when you think about the things that you've done so far,
Yeah.
even as far as Alberta is concerned, like I think you're one of the top brains when it comes to AI gets to be consulted right now. When you think about next steps for you, what are the first things that come to your mind?
For me, it's about spreading the knowledge. I would say one, by the grace of God, one is a bit successful, and one is growing with all humility, growing in this field. But spreading that knowledge and getting our people to know this as well, not keeping it alone to myself.
Yeah.
That's kind of my next big deal. How do we scale the knowledge acquisition aspect of this thing? How do we get other people? Because we're now in the fourth industrial revolution, which is the AI revolution. And I'm adding the crypto revolution as well. So people need to learn how to either make money from AI tools or make money also as well from cryptocurrency as well,
Yeah.
which is the currency of AI right now. So that's kind of where my mind goes.
I like the
Yeah.
next phase. And I think more than anything else, that's actually the reason why I decided to start this platform or this podcast, because people are in different phases of their journey, whether they're thinking about immigrating or they just landed and they're probably doing a survival job.
Yeah.
There are some people that I've spoken with, they're still stuck with a survival job 2, 3 years after coming. And I think the messages that they're going to get out of this is going to help them in each phase of their journey
Yeah.
and also help them to think big, because a lot of folks, when they come here, even after getting through that initial phase, they still get to be a little bit complacent. They feel like sometimes you hit a glass ceiling and you can't go beyond that glass ceiling.
Yeah.
So I think for folks like you who are thinking just beyond the 9 to 5 and creating AI companies and services that it's a subscription service. And that's what almost every platform out there is doing.
Yeah.
Think about Netflix, think about Prime or any of the, everybody's going into a subscription based service
Yeah.
where you can literally make money in your sleep. People can keep getting that service any day, anytime.
Yeah.
What's one piece of advice for immigrants who are trying to succeed?
Okay.
Immigrants who've decided to move, they've left everything back home, they want to succeed. What's one piece of advice that you're going to give them that would really stick?
I would say there are three industries that offer potential for life-changing opportunities. And number one is IT. There's still a lot of opportunity in IT. There's still lots of IT being AI being part of IT. You have ServiceNow. You have all of these platforms you can get into. There's companies that are always going to need people for that. Then there is healthcare. Healthcare is also a booming place.
Yeah.
If you can take certifications on this caregiving certifications, and even learning how to start your own caregiving business as well. That's
Okay.
also a big one if you know how to do it. Like I know people in the States who are cleaning out thousands, tens of thousands every month just from doing that, running that.
Interesting.
Then finally there's the trades also as well. So don't look down on, oh, you think plumbing work. Plumbers here have money more than your grandfather. I'm telling you, like literally people, it does the trades, electricians, plumbing. So if you have any technical skills, like back home, maybe if you're an electrical engineer, you came here, you're looking for whatever, instead of going to wash plates like I was afraid of, if you don't want to do the IT thing or the healthcare thing, go into a trade, go learn wiring.
Yeah.
You have a lot of money there. There's like, they're making like $100 an hour for each of these stuff. Yeah, and all that. So those are kind of the areas advice I would give more or less.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how people look at those traits from, back at home versus how traits are considered here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you get someone who is skilled, either as, an electrician, a plumber. You could possibly buy the materials that you need, but the cost of the labor
Yeah.
is what you're really paying for, because the cost of the labor is huge. So for those who are looking down on skilled jobs or skilled trades, think about it again.
Yeah.
Because it makes a
Carpentry,
huge difference.
All of that is a big deal. In fact, the people who are making money going forward a lot will be building construction. There's a lot of money in construction. There's a lot of building going on in Canada right now.
Yeah.
And that is kind of one area too that other communities too have taken advantage of. community. So I think we are community as well. Just start looking in that direction as well.
Amazing. So there's something we do on the podcast where every guest that comes on the podcast leaves a question for the next guest. And we don't open it until we have the next guest
Okay.
seated on that space. The first guest on the podcast left a question for you,
Okay.
and you're going to have to answer the question right now.
Okay.
And once you're done answering the question, you're going to write a question for the
For the
next
one.
guest.
Okay.
So I want you to open it up, whatever you see, read it out, and then answer it.
All right. Let's see.
Probably the first couple
First,
of pages.
Okay. Interesting question. So it says, what is your purpose in life? That's why did God make you? I believe that, first of all, I believe in God, first of all. And I'm more on the spiritual side and religious side. But I would say that I believe my purpose in life is to learn as much as I can and spread as much wisdom and knowledge as I can. That's my purpose in life. So,
Okay.
yeah, in the short run, that's
Okay.
yeah.
There's no right or wrong answer. And the person left a gift for you.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be giving you that gift after we're done.
Okay.
So right now is your turn. Like,
Okay.
put down a question
will
for the
put-
next guest.
I will put down a question now.
And when we have the next guest sitting on that same spot,
Yeah.
they're going to read your question and they're going to answer that question for us on the spot.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Yeah.
for other immigrants that, that have just moved, right? What do you think is the most common areas where people struggle the most? When you think about probably not your journey, but just from experience, looking back at people who either moved as a family, moved as single people, and they're navigating work, navigating the pressure of staying afloat. We talked about rent, paying $1,800 to almost $3,000 every month. What would you say from your conversations with people has been like the top challenges that a lot of immigrants face?
I would say it's the adjustment to Canadian life.
Okay.
And I would say, like, back in Nigeria, for example, you probably, the men are known to be the providers, while women are the nurturers. But when you come in here, it becomes a bit jumbled because at some point, if you're married, for example, and you have kids, your wife has to work. You have to work sometimes. Sometimes your wife,
all
you have
hands
to be
on
very,
deck.
all hands on deck, yeah. So you kind of find yourself even things like cooking, for example, you might be the one having to do the cooking, so, and I find a lot of people I've interacted with struggle with that adjustment and understanding that it does not in any way elude your masculinity is not affected in any way by you having to get kids ready, do this, be hands-on, assist, be a parent.
Yeah.
That's kind of one struggle. And I want to encourage people who are also coming here, man, this is the reality, but at the end of the day, it pays off. When you see your children grow, you see them, you first of all notice your accents will change. The first thing you were, these are the same kids, and you see that these are the reasons why you make the sacrifices for. So it's worth it. That's kind of what I would just.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And kids learn fast.
Yeah, they do.
Sometimes even faster than a lot of the adults.
Yeah.
They do. I think a lot of kids, when they go to school in a short time, before you see it, the accents change. They start making friends. They're adjusting a lot faster.
Yeah.
But what you talked about is really, I think it's a very common trend that puts a lot of pressure on families.
Yeah.
That adjustment. Sometimes some people before leaving home, they probably had like two or three nannies supporting the kids.
Oh yeah.
And then they get here and no, it's just you and your partner.
Yeah.
So really something for folks to be aware of.
Yeah.
And we're glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So where can people find you for those who are trying to keep track of the amazing things that you're creating and who want to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to AI and learning more about what's happening in that space? Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, Neji Tawo, LinkedIn. So you can always check it out. Also on social media as well, Instagram. But LinkedIn is mostly where I hang out. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Neji, it's been a pleasure having you here on
Yeah.
JAKPA Stories.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have another episode again in the future
Okay.
so we can check on how things are going with Conversity, how things are going with JobSeek.work, and also Rocket Receipts, and possibly some other amazing things that I know you're working on.
Oh, okay.
So thanks again for being on JAKPA Stories.
Well, the pleasure is mine. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thanks, Neji.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
really appreciate you being on the show.
Definitely.
Thank you.
All right.